On November 8th at approximately 3:30 a.m., I had multiple off-duty police officers from the Bodyguard group of Beverly Hills, and even a few volunteer off-duty police officers. The Bodyguard group of Beverly Hills is 100% current police officers and U.S. veterans since 1967, with no client injured ever. On that evening, I was at the home of Gene Sperling and his wife Amber. Shit. Can I start over? Okay.
Yeah, but just bottom line for me. Don't forget, we got a minute and a half, so it's just bottom line, okay?
Okay. So, while at the home of Gene Sperling, current senior advisor of the President of the United States, and his wife Allison Abner, we noticed on the ring videos that the same suspect that had been there 8 times before over the previous couple weeks, attempting to gain entry into the bedroom of their young daughter, was there again with his right hand jammed in his pocket where he appeared to be holding a small pistol, as he had the previous 8 times as well. And he was attempting to gain entry into the rear of the home and the side of the home by checking every door and every window and attempting, at least as it appeared to us, to pick a couple of the locks. My surveillance team, altogether we've had anywhere from 5 to 8 off-duty police officers and even a couple volunteer police officers inside the house because of the high threat level that he not only was doing this to them, but to a neighbor, which he had been at 17 to 19 times for the neighbor, and 8 times in the videos that I saw here at their home. We took every precaution for officer safety, informed Santa Monica Police, and then I advised the officers there, as I was about to return to the house from the previous shift, to go ahead and make the detainment, and they did. When attempting to detain him, he kept his hand in his right pocket as if he had a firearm, as he'd done the previous 8 visits, again while trying to get into the bedroom window of their young daughter. And the officer used his taser to stop him from pulling out a potential firearm. First shot was ineffective, second shot was more effective. They then tackled him to the ground and had a pretty violent struggle with him, attempting to get his hands behind his back. Notably, he does have a history for resisting arrest from the police, which he's been convicted for and done prison time. And he was just as violent with us, injuring the officers while they struggled to get his hands behind his back. They fought with him on the ground for about 2 minutes before the arrival of Santa Monica Police, and then we turned him over to them for booking.
Yeah, great job. Wow. How scary was this for that family?
Well, speaking to Gene Sperling, of course, he's senior advisor of the President of the United States, and his wife Allison, I can tell you that they asked me for a threat evaluation. And in speaking to the senior command staff, we have about 200 active police officers in the group, and special operations forces. My entire senior command staff, for the first time in our 56-year history, was in complete agreement, complete 100% agreement, that this was the highest threat level case we'd ever worked, and that this person, possibly a terrorist suspect, not just because he looked Middle Eastern, but because we're informed by a neighbor that he was carrying a hit list of Jewish families, and the list, which of course is going to be, I'm assuming, placed in the evidence from the neighbor's video footage, included this family specifically because they worked for President Joe Biden, obviously with Gene being senior advisor of the president, and they were going to, quote, take his daughter away from him as Joe Biden had taken away the daughters of the West Bank and Gaza. And when we were told that almost a week ago by a neighbor, another Jewish family, who said he had been at their home between 17 and 19 times, the threat just couldn't get any higher. This was a terrorist suspect. We believed he was working with an accomplice. We actually stopped people in the middle of the night prior to this evening that we apprehended him, and they were filming their house at 1 in the morning. And we've turned all the information over to Allison and Gene, who have sent it to the FBI and Secret Service. It just doesn't get any more dangerous than when you have a potential terrorist suspect with a hit list in his pocket and a gun and a 2-way radio for communication, and he comes back to our client's house 8 times in a row. The last time was when we started staking it out. We were there for just less than a week, and we had multiple police officers, front yard, backyard, neighbors' yards, roof. We had a drone up, and didn't see him till the 8th, which was, of course, when we apprehended him. and turn him over to Santa Monica Police. It just doesn't get any more dangerous than a guy who's a convicted sex offender, fugitive, on the run since 2019. He's done this many times before per his criminal records. And now he's targeting the senior advisor to the President of the United States at his home against his young daughter. And then he has a hit list, and then he's carrying a gun, and then he comes back 8 times in a row. It's simply the highest threat level case we've ever had, and I'm grateful that the officers who were closest to the front door were quick enough to taser him before he could draw a weapon,